join you, Archie.
Okay, so first off, introduce yourself, say what do you want to be called and what roles do you have in the fandom.
All right, let me just. I'll need to actually. I've got so many. I actually need to get a list. Okay, tell me, buddy. Okay, which fandom? Here we go. Okay, I was gonna think of actually doing some other bits and pieces, but I don't want to keep. I don't want to push my own stuff in here as well. I don't want to become one of those clowns. Okay, so I voice like a lot of characters. So I'm gonna say my favorites. I voice Cedric, Uriah, Dean Collins, and Caleb. I'll just say like four of them, like four of my personal favorites.
Okay, so out of all of this, you haven't voiced Caleb yet. Are you waiting
I am.
for him?
Yes, I'm waiting on him with bated breath since I'll be using my natural accent for that.
Okay, and what accents do you use for the others?
For Cedric is mostly based on the Cedric doesn't really have an accent. It's more based on a couple of different characters. For example, let's see the words. Okay, Cedric is based mostly on the TV show voiced by Bradley D. Baker, but is also a mixture of the characters Starscream and Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe and Transformers, respectively. And for Uriah has an Australian accent and is based on the character Junkrat from Overwatch.
Okay, and Dean?
Dean is just more of my natural voice, just a bit more deeper, since I just wanted to give him more a natural accent.
Okay, and how about Irma's dad?
Irma's father, or Tom Lair, I actually kind of based him on my own dad's voice, especially with the gruffness of it as well.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so another question. How did you find out about Witch and for how long have you been a fan?
Okay, well, when it comes to the fandom itself, I actually got word of it through the server itself, and I decided to hop on since I actually have been doing some voice work for a while. Mostly it was Transformers related projects, most notably Wolfman Productions Combiner Wars series. And when I saw it, I thought I'd give it a swing, and yeah, that's how it came to be. And I don't want to blow my own horn here, but I was kind of a big help considering that a lot of the side roles were male, and and the female cast. Obviously, the female cast are the main stars of the show.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
for Witch itself, sorry.
Yeah, I meant that you really do a lot of male voices, so that's really helpful. Thank you.
I don't want to blow my own horn though, because likes of you, Nano, Theo, you're the stars. Oh, I'm not forgetting Lauren, of course. Lauren and Motor. I have to mention all five of the wonderful cast who bring the Witch Girls to life. But anyways, speaking of Witch itself, I have been mostly a fan of the cartoon series, not the comics, since I have certain conditions. Reading the comics is a bit difficult, but that's what the fandom is a good thing to actually help me get the comics without me getting distracted by anything. But I remember watching the series as a young child. I think I was about 7. I think I didn't really know what it really was about. It was just sort of I didn't know what it was about, but I was actually disencouraged by some of my former friends who said I was actually very girlish for doing that, so I actually dropped the show. But then years later, when I found it on YouTube again, I just sort of got back more into it, and then bing, bada boom, a few years later, here we are now in 2024, and I'm still a Wish fan.
I think that's really stupid because I think like the TV show especially it's not that girly. Like we have Caleb, we have Blank, we have lots of important male characters, even more than in the comics. And I know a lot of boys, even in the server, we have lots of boys that like the show. So it's really a stupid thing to discourage someone from watching.
Yeah, that's very true. I think it's because many people throw it in the same barrel as like some Wings Club, which is obviously more feminine oriented, that's my personal view. But this is coming from a guy who actually likes both. So yeah, I'm not exactly one to talk, but you are right in that regard.
I think Wings is also like more girly, but I also know some guys that like it. So I wouldn't say that like just like what you want, even if it's girly or manly, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, which especially the cartoon is definitely more neutral. Even the first.
Yeah, it's more neutral ground, and that's what I like about it. But that's beside the point. We should. What's the next question?
Okay, so who are your favorite characters in the series?
Favorite characters. Okay, now is this gonna be like for the TV show itself or for the fandom? Personally, just so I know.
You can say for the TV show.
Okay, I'll start with the TV show first, and then I'll move into the fandom, just so I can show like what I enjoy about it itself. But for the show itself, my personal favorite is definitely going to be Cornelia by hands down. Again, I know she has like her moments, which people can put her off as like very cold, very nasty. But I think that's very more faithful to the comics itself because she is more of the very much person who's has her very own ideas, her own ideas and such with that, and it shows in the TV show as well. And as well as that, she's got the most impressive powers because she is the muscle of the group.
Yes, I think
And if
that's especially in the show. Cornelia is so overpowered. It's kind of funny, but yeah, she's really, really powerful.
oh yeah, that. I mean, like I said, she is the muscle of the group, and she knows it. To quote actually one of my favorite lines from her from N for Narcissist, and I forgive my terrible impression of her voice actors, but I rule, and I'm not just pretty, I'm gorgeous.
I rule, and I'm not just pretty, I'm gorgeous.
Yeah, that definitely just says it right there, and that's when she has all 5 powers. I mean, we saw how overpowered she was in that episode, and I absolutely live for it. And not to mention, you could see Caleb's voice, like he literally the boy was dumbstruck.
Yes, I love Caleb's face when she transforms into Quinto Guardian. It used to be my profile picture on Discord for some time. It's
Yeah, I
so
remember
funny.
that. Yeah, not to mention, I remember it's like she flew by, he actually spat out leaves. Like literally leaves got caught in his mouth.
But you can even see that she's like the creator's favorite because when they transform into like full elements in the last episode, all the other girls just have like one color palette, and she's a full-on tree with yellow hair, with like leafy hair, and she looks so beautiful. It really seems like she's just the creator's favorite.
Well, I wouldn't blame them. But speaking of more favorites, another one of my personal favorites definitely has belonged to Irma, because Irma, I just love the sarcastic, jokey nature, and it works so well.
Yes, she's really cool. I also love Irma. I think I like her more in the comics than in the TV show, but I also love her in the show.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm going to like her in both elements because Irma is just she's a consistent character, and she's very funny. I like characters who can give a bit of wit and everything else. Considering that myself, I love saying all kinds of very terrible jokes when I get the chance because it's just me.
And
Then again, when it comes to my sense of humor and Irma's, when it comes to my jokes, they end up going all wet. Tough crowd, I know. Basically, it's all wet. Basically means they're not very good.
I understand. Okay.
Anyways, enough of that. Okay, I should. One last note I will say about for some other characters in the show probably would be again. I like Caleb again. Caleb's not just because I'm a guy, but Caleb is a very like strong-willed character, and you can see like why he's so by he's a very strong, very good rebel leader in the first season because he's fighting to free his homeland from the tyranny of Phobos, and he's a very smart tactical person. That's what you want in a rebellion.
I love Caleb, really. I love TV Caleb so much. He's one of my favorite characters, and it's so funny because you'll see that in the comics he's so different and so boring. But I'm really glad that the TV show creators were able to change him and make him so fun and interesting.
Not to mention as well, he's also voiced by Greg Cripes, of course, of Teen Titans fame with Beast Boy. But I also know him as another major main character in another series that was running alongside which, ironically enough, with Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Okay, and another question is, who is your favorite character to voice?
My favorite character to voice? Okay, I've only got one thing to say about that, and That is personally my favourite Uriah because I love doing the Australian accent. And I just love sounding like some kind of little dweeb who just wants to cause chaos.
Oh, I love Uriah, and the laugh, it's so great, really.
Again, as said previously, he is based on an actual character that exists, and that is Junkrat from the Blizzard game Overwatch. Because because of course he's Australian and has that very sort of high pitched, squealy laugh, and I just think that's perfect for Uriah. Just that it just makes you sound like he's gonna pull off some kind of prank, and he thinks it's hilarious.
Yes, I agree. Their laugh is really great, and I think you actually do lots of different laughs because you do this amazing evil laugh as Cedric. You did this Dracula-like laugh as Collins, and you also did that deep, deep laugh as Frost.
Though I will say I kind of cheated on Frost because I had to use Audacity to lower my voice very very low because I didn't want to sound like Cedric 2.0. But yes, I do love doing the evil laughs because I mean when it comes to a villain, you've got to have a good evil laugh because it's all about how you do it.
Yeah, that's the most important. And I actually don't mind that you use Audacity to deepen your voice as Frost, because when you have so many characters, there are only so many voices that you can make, and I think that it really works. And also when I edit Miss Rudolph, and when she transforms into the Meridian creature, I also deepen her voice because that just fits the monstrous appearances, so it also fits Frost.
Yes, and it makes them sound different as well. Although, actually, looking back to my previous works, I actually modeled Frost's sort of voice on a character already voiced with I already voiced in Wolfman Productions Combiner War series with Jetstorm. Basically, like a big Decepticon brute which I had to edit my voice for the first time. But for this one, it's more mixed with a bit more of Cockney accent to make it sound a bit more, differentiation. Since Jetstorm was a lot more just more basic brute. But that's basically that's basically it.
Okay. Another question is: do you want to be a professional voice actor one day?
Yes, if I can, because I mean, I love bringing characters to life and voicing them. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun, and just bringing these different characters to life. It just gives me a sense of fulfillment and what I would love to do with my life. At the same time, though, I have a lot of other things I want to focus on in life first. But that is one of my main goals: to become if not a professional VA, but even just doing the likes of YouTube just for a side job would be just enough. Would be enough for me.
I think that you're really amazing as a voice actor, and I really hope that you can fulfill that dream, because you would be perfect for that.
Thank you very much. It really much appreciated.
Okay, so another thing is, are there any characters from the TV show that you wish were in the comics?
Well, many of them did translate into the show. The show itself. Honestly, I kind of want to do a switcheroo and just say what characters from the comics we didn't see in the TV show, since the TV show was very cut short. It only had 2 seasons. I mean, 52 episodes is a good long run, but they were trying to set up a season 3, and I would love to see who else we could have seen. I mean, we got a glimpse of Scylla and Mr. Riddle, but that's basically where it stops. So I would definitely like to see how they would have done, like, sort of, I can't pronounce her name right, but Orub, is it?
I pronounce it Orub, yeah. I think it's Orub.
Orub. I would love to see how they did Orub in the TV show, personally, and villains and everything else, because I would have loved to see what they would have done after Nerissa and Phobos. That's my sort of taste on the TV show, since a lot of the characters from the comics do make it into the TV show, so I thought I'd sort of spin on its head a wee bit.
Okay. I'm also wondering how they would do Cedric, because in the show Cedric is with Miranda, and later in the comics he's with Orub. So I'm wondering how they would do that, but I guess we'll never find out.
Never. Probably never will, but I'm not sure what they might do, because again, with the likes of the reboot out, I wonder if we might see anything animated relating to that, but only time will tell.
Okay, so another question. Are there any particular scenes or just like moments that you look forward to voicing in the fandub, or just not voicing but seeing in the fandub?
Since I'm not as in depth with the comics as I'm with the show, unfortunately, I can't really say much. But I will say I'm looking forward to voicing Caleb mostly because, like I said, I'm using my natural accent, and I don't know. I just always have like a thing. I know that the relationship between Cornelia and Caleb is very, very different when it comes to the comics and TV show. But still, I just look forward to seeing them together in some capacity before reality eventually hits me like a sledgehammer. Because I am fully aware of what happens.
Yeah, I also find it interesting that it's so different.
I'll say.
Okay, what are your hopes for the fandub? Like, how many arcs would you want us to do?
As many as I think we're able to do, I guess, because I'm just along for the ride. I'm just here to provide the voices where needed and everything else, and I'm just like curious to see how far like the comics go. I mean, at some point, I mean, if we ever get to the more, I guess, silly arcs, I guess we could always try an abridged version because we know, like, basically, we're just making fun of how ridiculous those arcs already are.
Now, a question about the other voice actors. Is there anyone who you think does just a perfect job of voicing a certain character?
Honestly, everyone. I'll give my sort of overall of the main five. For instance, let's start with Nano as Will. Nano just has that very awkward style of teenage voice for Will, and that definitely makes sense with her. Like she sounds very, just very much like TV show Will as well. Like it's unique, but also sounds very similar. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I think Nano really sounds like an awkward 14-year-old girl. She's really good at that.
Aye, indeed. And then we move on to like sort of Motor as Irma. I mean, I honestly I adore Irma's voice. They have just this like snarkiness and attitude to them. They just like it just fits Irma down to a T. And honestly, in one of the sort of like this is a blooper that was made for the upcoming upcoming videos, is that we actually have Irma swearing, which honestly I think fits her character so well.
Yes, I'm now actually wondering if I should include that swearing version of or not, because I think that would be really funny.
I mean, linking actually back to myself with Uriah, because I actually did include, well, somewhat swearing in the actual scene where he's trying to actually capture the dormouse, basically, but the words are either cut off or censored. So I think basically, like, it actually Irma does say the word, but we actually don't hear it.
Yes, I think I might try doing something like this because I think that would be really funny and really in a character, because Irma is a girl that would swear, definitely.
Yes, because it would make a lot of sense, because it's a lot more natural as well. Because I know like people are very much against swearing, and obviously there are some things you can't do in certain related media. But honestly, it's a lot more human if they actually swear. Because then, of course, this moved on to you, Jules. Of course, since you are the voice of Tirani.
Yes.
And I think I love your Tirani voice because since your accent very much bleeds through, and I think it works for Tirani since it is she is someone who actually did move to Heatherfield herself, so it definitely shows that she's not from around here, and it just adds a bit of an extra not a twinge, but it just adds this extra layer to Tirani's character is what I think, and your soft spoken demeanor definitely just fits Tirani down to a T.
Thank you so much. That's really nice to hear.
Next up, we actually have Cornelia, which is honestly because I'm in the British Isles. Cornelia's voice actually fits with Lauren since she's from Scotland, and I believe that is more of an Edinburgh accent, which Edinburgh is more of a higher, snootier Scottish accent compared to the likes of Glasgow or anything else in Scotland. So, and it works so well for Cornelia because I just love just hearing this more like very much this Scottish accent coming out of her mouth. Like she sounds very different, but also very similar. It just matches Cornelia, and I'm all for it. Since I'm Irish myself, and I have some Scottish blood in me, so it's probably just that turn up again. So I say Scottish corny forever. Okay.
Yes, I love Scottish Cornish. She's so perfect, really.
And lastly, just to get it out of the way, okay, then we have finally a Vio as Haylin, and honestly, they are Haylin because they're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. Just it sounds very much like the TV show itself, but it's a lot more like it shows that she's the youngest member and very much bright and wide-eyed, and it's adorable. It really, honestly, is.
This voice is so high, so specific. Like it really is different than all the other girls. The last question would be: what would be your dream role? For example, from the TV show, even a role like that, for example, female that you couldn't voice, but is there anyone that you would really want to voice from the Witch franchise?
Honestly, if I could, it would be someone I've already voiced already with likes of Lord Cedric, because I just love doing the voice as well. Just very much, I just love doing evil characters. It just makes me feel good, even though I'm actually a really nice guy. But if I voice anybody else aside from Cedric, I'd love to try a hand at Blanc, or possibly even Kayla himself, because again, since my options for like main characters are limited just due to my actual gender and voice, I just want to say take it where I can. So that would be my top three. Would be Cedric, Blanc, and Caleb.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all. Is there anything else that you want to tell us?
Can I blow my own horn for a bit, just because I want to actually spread this, since I have my own sort of witch themed project as well, if I can.
Of course, promote yourself. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, this is just me, but me and a very close friend of mine, my co-creator, we're making trying to have our own hand at a future for the TV show with our own project called Mystic. So taking like a next gen approach to the Witch series itself, and just like looking at through all the through the fandom as well, to sort of like having listening to the different voices and actually having those characters actually as the voice of the Mystic Girls themselves, since they are the children of the Guardians. But and also as well, just getting the feedback from the different people in the server as well, and just saying like what works, and trying to get more comic knowledge. Just honestly, you guys have been giving us a good hand when it comes to a lot of the stuff we need. So thank you very much for that. I don't want to like do it too much, because I don't like blowing my own horn, but that's basically it. Just saying that thank you for doing what you do, and keep up the good work.
Yes, I think that your project is really interesting. I especially like Irma's daughter. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name.
That's Tessa. So I will say it's kind of, people are going to be like very surprised, especially if they've read the comics more, is that I actually paired up Irma with Martin at the end of the day, because honestly, I just want to just give Martin, give him like a happy ending, because he may have been an awkward nerd back in those days, but people change.
Yeah, I get that. I really love Martin. I don't see them together, but I also really love Martin, and I love Irma, and I understand that you wanted to give them happy ending, and I really love their daughter. Okay, so yeah,
sorry.
Go on.
Just in the current project of things, I will say that that Tess will be getting her own arc. Hopefully, we're just trying to actually write that out. So hopefully, all of them will be getting arcs, and hopefully, when we release it eventually in like 2038 or something, it'll be good.
Okay, so I'll post the links in the description of the video, the links to Mystic stuff, so you can send me it later.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, so thank you so much for being here, for going on with this interview, and
my pleasure.
Yes, so thank you so much, and that's the end.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Okay, if anything else needs done, you give me a holler, okay?
Sure, of course.
Yes, see, thank you very much. Have a good day now. Thanks,
Have a
Jules.
good day.
Bye.
Bye.